So,
Who's starting?
What do you think about this week? I know you guys have been waiting for this for a while.
Yeah, I think it's the concept is been hatched, so to speak. Now it's a matter of executing it, and hopefully we can be representative in some of the events. Our depth has been a little bit compromised this year because of some freak setbacks of different injuries and so on. But the kids are excited. I think hopefully our community is, that we can bring basically a spirit of the Penn Relays, Drake Relays to Fayetteville.
Any particular relays that you're concentrating on?
Well, we'll try to be competitive in the 4x15, even though we don't have Nikki Hiltz and sorry guys, Taylor Werner, our latest casualty.
Yeah, so she didn't run.
She ran, but at the 3,000 meter mark, she felt like somebody shot her in the back, and so I pulled her off the track. We immediately got some medical help at the Mount Sac Relays. It's still yet to be accurately diagnosed. She's going to have further tests done tomorrow, and we hope it's something a little more mild than what we think it's going to be. It's very serious, to the point that we'll go ahead and redshirt her. We have that luxury to save the season and get her ready for the future.
So some kind of back injury?
Yeah, it's in the back, and it basically brought her down to her knees, and so she's such a great talent. We just want to make sure we do what's right for her.
What's Nikki have? What's her name?
Nikki has had this knee problem that's been since December, and we don't know what caused it, but it's underneath the patella itself, and she's gone through a series of procedures. It's better now than it's been in a long time, so we're just basically getting her back into shape, and it's going to be a very late season, and we're keeping our fingers crossed.
What kind of competition are you expecting this weekend?
I think it'll be very balanced. I think there's going to be some great sprint representatives that are going to challenge our sprint crew, and then I think in the distances and middle distances, there's some very salty competition in the men and women's side. So to balance everything out, it's going to be a great competition across the board. And then the field events, I was really pleased to see that we're going to have some great field competitors here.
Which relays on Saturday night do you feel you guys will be the
I think our focus will be the 4x1 and the 4x4. Those are the two that we want to continue to nurture and ultimately get ready for SECs and nationals. They're both potentially scoring positions at the national meet, and we're going to double some of our athletes, but we're not going to overload our athletes at this competition because, again, to try to protect them and stay healthy is obviously the main focus.
And you're running things like the 4x2 and sprint medley.
We won't run the 4x2. We won't run the sprint medley. We'll run the DMR and the 4x8. They won't be the best relays we could ever put together, but it's going to give those kids a chance to run under the lights in front of national TV and gain that experience.
I got to say, with Taylor and Nikki out, kind of who you're relying on for
yeah, and I got a laundry list. I mean, Joy Ripslinger tore Achilles indoors. It's just been one setback after another. It's been a very unique year for us, and I think we're hopefully getting all our bad luck out of the way to make us even more potent next year.
With Oregon getting that 7-year deal for the national championships, how nice is it to have a marquee event here in Fayetteville this time of year?
Oh, it's always nice to be able to strut our stuff at home, and again, to give our local community a chance to come see us alive and in person and in good shape. I mean, ready to go. We get to do that periodically indoors, but we're outdoors, is a little more rare. So this is kind of a unique situation that our kids are excited about and hopefully will take advantage of.
Now you guys bid for 2020 outdoors. Austin, Texas has got it 1919 or 2019.
Yeah, 2019 and 2020.
And then Oregon gets it for a bunch.
2 more years after that.
Just kind of, what are your feelings about you guys? Texas getting it and then going back to Oregon, Arkansas, not.
Well, I mean, we obviously made a bid and it was came up short with the University of Texas offer, and but I think it definitely created a panic when it was announced last week to the West Coast teams and a lot of the northern teams that, oh my gosh, we got to go to Texas. our kids are going, heavens, it's like going home. So let's take advantage of the opportunity.
So you know about from a weather standpoint, those set off a pancake.
Scares a lot of the
Yeah.
coaches and the athletes that the heat is one thing, but the humidity is something a lot of teams can't parallel.
Yeah. Is it just disappointing you guys don't get a shot?
Oh, we'd love to be able to host the national championship and strut our stuff with our facility and our community, but it just didn't happen. But they've always enjoyed coming here for indoors, and the community and the university has always done a great job of hosting. Our officials are fantastic, and we always put on a good show. And I think we could do that outdoors just as well.
What do you want to see out of your girls this weekend?
I think that, we want to make sure that, one, we stay healthy. That's priority one. Number two is be competitive and line ourselves up to be able to compete with some of the best teams in the United States, and we go across the board as best we possibly can.
What all was Jada going to run?
She'll run 4x1 and 4x4.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry.
And I believe that's going to be it.
Yeah. Just what do you thought of her season so far?
Oh, Jada's done a fantastic job. One of the things that we figured out years and years ago, if you could find a good Arkansas standout in women's track and field, they usually have ability to blossom much greater in college. And it's happened over and over again, and Jada is a living example of that. And we have another one coming in next year that we're excited about as well.
Is that somebody you've already signed, or?
I think she's signing soon.
Okay, so you can't talk about it. Okay, Jada, she came in as a multi, and then you guys converted her to a sprinter. I mean,
she was going to be a jumper for us and sprint as well. And then Chris identified her rather quickly that, my gosh, I think she has a much brighter future in the sprints than she does as a jumper. And anytime you're dealing with the jumps, there's a risk of injury. So let's keep her healthy and keep her developing. And she has exceeded anyone's expectations.
What do you think's made her so good so fast in her career?
Well, I think obviously she's God-given talent. She's got the genetics, and then obviously Chris has done a fantastic job of developing those strengths that she has and also addressing the weaknesses.
Kids are supposed to start slow. Outdoors she ties Veronica's record. I mean, what do you think when she did that?
You look at the clock and go, whoa, wait a minute, that's really fast. And then you start, memory check going, that's Veronica Campbell type territory. We have great respect for whatever Veronica was able to do for us in a uniform, but also as a post-collegiate as well. You're in that conversation in that type of territory, there's even better things to come.
Do you think, Jade, given her, that she hasn't been focusing on the sprints that long, what do you think the ceiling is for a relative newbie like that? Well,
I think that, each and every time that she gets stronger mentally as well as physically in those types of competitions is going to bring out the best of her. There's some great athletes out there that are running under 11 seconds flat, and I think Jada's future definitely is capable of being in that territory.
Yeah, with her having a couple of years left after this, or even into this year with NCAA's and SECs, you think she could? She won't have to share that record to herself.
Yeah, we'll still respect obviously the marks that Veronica was able to give us, but no, Jada is someone that could rewrite record books.
And then this is, I know you got the last chance meet or whatever, but this is kind of the last big showcase for your seniors. Like
Talia, Nikki Hiltz, and Reagan Heim.
Yeah.
It'll be Reagan.
But Nikki's not going to run though.
No, Nikki will sit this one out.
I guess for Talia, maybe you're kind of summing up her career.
She's not doing any relays, right, Talia?
No, as of right now, no.
She said she's probably high jumping and hurdles.
The hurdles, and she long jumped really well last week. So it's just now kind of sharpening those facets of the heptathlon to get her ultimately ready for the conference as well as nationals.
If you're kind of summing up her career to this point, what she's meant to the program.
Oh, she's been absolutely fantastic. In the classroom to graduate in 3 years, she's going to have her master's degree. Outstanding student, has actually taught classes in her major here, and then on the athletic field, consummate team player and a great competitor. One of the things that I described her at the Hogsby Awards is that she is the true definition of a champion. She's going to find a way to win no matter what the challenge is. And it could be an argument on a street corner. It could be, obviously in the field of competition.
They talked about maybe going to law school, so I guess
She'd be a natural.
Yeah. How much do you like that she and the other the guys seniors get a big meet like this at home before their eligibility?
I think anytime that they can recognize our seniors or any of our athletes, but our seniors especially, this is kind of that farewell. This is the last time they're going to run on home turf in front of a crowd, and obviously we want to make sure that they get recognized for that and they take advantage of the opportunity.